What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd, and today we have some of the Age Mythology, the Titans action. Uh, okay, spawning at the bottom of the map, the blue color playing is Poseidon. His name is Bubez. His opponent today in the red color playing is Thor. His name is Brickhead. And for those of you playing at home, in the chat, on the YouTubes, everywhere and anywhere, we appreciate you immensely. And the question of the day is, during quarantine, do you either A, drink more coffee, B, start napping, or C, become an alcoholic? D is none of the above, but I assume no one is none of the above because we all have to somehow survive this. So, put your answers in the in the chat or in the comments, and let us know how you're doing, because that's exciting. Now, speaking of things that are exciting, we have the two baddest boys to ever bring their I don't have another B word, so I'm just going to say bring their game to this Age Mythology. We've got Brickhead and Bubez, the B boys, the bad boys. This is probably my favorite matchup to watch, like a Thor versus Poseidon matchup, because for the most part, Poseidon doesn't prevent Thor from operating, but Poseidon's not weaker than Thor either when Thor's operating. There's a lot of gods which you need to prevent Thor from like functioning as a god and doing what Thor likes to do. But Poseidon's not one of them. So I'm always excited about these games because anything can happen, and it's always an entertaining game. It's always an entertaining game indeed. At least between these two guys. So we'll see what they can do. The map's Ghost Lake. And honestly, it's one goldmine Ghost Lake. So of all of the maps, this is probably one of the better maps for Bubez because it opens up some heroic age timing pushes, and Brickhead's gonna have to play around that a little bit. He's kind of got an exposed gold mine, but I don't know if this Catastropus actually spotted it. He almost died as well. He ran around the back. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we see like an Ares rush here. You got two villagers on the temple. Going through Hermes. What? I guess the two favored. Now does this command work? Oh, it does. So we've got Armor of Achilles and we've got Boots. Oh, Boots will kick everything. Very good. Very good indeed. But Theseus is going to be moving forward and harassing these guys. This is one of, well, he doesn't actually know about this location though. He's actually searching over here and he may miss it. If this ox cart would move close to the villages, which he does, and the Catastropus does spot him. The 5 HP Catastropus comes in clutch and Theseus comes over. This boar is almost going to be out as well. Brickhead, put your ox cart next to your villages, mate. This is too far. This is walking distance. You're Norse. You're already at a disadvantage. Don't make it a more of a disadvantage. Alright, so yeah, this little harass here is gonna go on. So long as he doesn't lose too many, doesn't lose too much HP on these villagers and finishes the boar, he's completely fine. And he's just gonna move over onto the caribou here. And the Hursa's over. The 2.4 damage per second Hursa doing work. But Freya will come in and it should be enough to defend over here. Especially with 3 Hursa. The Centaur comes in, we got a double stable, I like it a lot, and the Hippolyte is out as well, so this is going to be some real difficult times for Brickhead to defend. Just the initial push with these two heroes is it's quite hard because it takes Thor just a little while to set up. You can see it's 5 minutes and he still hasn't put his buildings down, whereas Bubez has put both his stables down already. With all that being said, he's still got the Hearser out. He can probably defend against this as well just by fighting back. The dwarves are a little bit more beefy than the villagers by 10 HP, so they will survive like maybe 1 or 2 extra shots from the Theseus. And the centaur comes in. Let's slot these villagers over here maybe. I don't know why he picked this spot to chop. Chop over here or chop over here, but totally cool. And we're seeing raiding cavalry. I'm not surprised to see this. You do need to throw down like 3 longhouses to make this work. And the Hippocon coming in. How's the population looking? 40 or 45. He really does need to get this house down. But while this is all going on, Brickhead's managed to like hunt all of this food, or most of this. He managed to hunt most of this caribou. But fix up your ox cart. It's my oh, here we go. It's my pet peeve about Norse is you get to have the one advantage that Norse has over everybody else except for Atlantean is that you get to have instant drop-offs. So you should always be checking your ox carts, tapping Control G throughout the game just to make sure that they're all being efficient. Unfortunately, losing a Hearser there. Nice pick off for Bubez. And we have medium raiders coming out. I actually like that if you're only going 2 longhouses because you get to spend that extra resource or that extra food that you gather from the wait time before you get the 3rd longhouse, and now you can kind of defend. The difference between like a medium raider and a medium hippocon versus a raider and a hippocon is less big, I think, for some reason. I think like the extra armor you get matters more because you have more HP. At least that's how I see it. That's why the raiders do better than the hippocon. Once you get extra HP on them with the medium raiders. Something you don't really think about. I haven't seen this. Oh, I missed the Valkyrie. I don't know what she did. I have no idea, but it looks like, yeah, we're all good. Picking up Armor of Achilles. Ooh, probably, careful. Probably not going to be that useful this game. Maybe he goes Bragi and then starts making like, but like OP Ulfsark or something. The Valkyrie going to get picked off. Very close. 31 HP left there. And the Hearser making his way back in. He's getting a little bit of love taps. He'll get through the gate though and onto the temple. Our gold mine's got 700 gold left in it for Brickhead. And Bubez is going for his 2nd town center here. I'm a bit surprised about that, to be honest. I would have expected to see a semi-fast heroic or like a full pop heroic age here from Bubez. Just because you can go through Aphrodite and all the gold mines that Brickhead has are on this side, so a cursed timing push would be really brutal. But especially because Brickhead's spamming raiders and there's no way for him. Well, he could probably get a semi-fast heroic through Skadi and defend it, so maybe it's not a good play. So, where do we go here? Looks like Brickhead is actually starting to get a little bit of a foothold in this game. Starts to operate a little bit defending against all of that early pressure. He didn't really take too many losses here. And now his raiders can kind of start raiding. He's got 3 longhouses out. Not producing from this 3rd one, but he will be okay. And he will see the 2nd town center. Another stable coming up for Bubez, so definitely try to spam out those units as best as he can. How's his resource situation looking? He's kind of strapped for food here. Maybe he has too many villagers on wood at the moment. Sometimes that happens as Poseidon. Because remember, as Poseidon, all you need to do is build... he's got an archery range, but all you have to build is a couple of stables and houses. So 4 villagers on wood is maybe too many, but you do have to transition into farms as well at some point, so you've got to be careful about that. Random boar chilling here, ready to be eaten. Feels good. And the dwarf's actually getting picked off a little bit. Gonna jump into the tower, save some of them. We'll save one of them, but the hippocon going to be picking off a little bit more as the dwarves make their way onto that gold mine. 2nd town center coming up for Brickhead. A little bit late, but he's okay with this because this does allow him, if he can grab this gold mine and hold on to it with a 2nd town center, It's going to allow for a really big Ragnarok, and it's going to be difficult for Bubez to defend against it. But I assume that because Bubez has managed to get the early second town center himself first, he's going to be able to race Mythic Age first, and then Earthquake this town center, and then kind of do like a later stage in the game Gold Star. So we'll see if Brickhead can play around that through Skadi or something like that. Maybe the way to go. Give him the extra minute he needs in order to get Mythic Age. Splitting up the raiding cavalry or Hippocons as well into multiple little groups, looking for something to do. Probably not going to be finding them. And he does. And here's the thing about raiding Norse. Once Norse is set up with a bunch of raiders as Greek, without your speedy upgrade. Well, I guess it doesn't even matter if Brickhead's got Thundering Hooves, but without Spirited Charge, it's really hard to like get in and hit some villages and get out without losing like all of your Hippocon, which is seeing happening here. And not only that, but like as opposed to Brickhead, who can run in and get chased away and is totally fine. So it's almost like the roles flip at this stage of the game, where you, as Poseidon, you don't really want to attack until you can attack a spot. Like you don't really want to raid or anything like that, because at the moment Brickhead's getting a lot of pickoffs and he's actually in a really good position. And beyond that, Bubez is going to be struggling to get... He has to keep producing units because he's losing them. So he's going to struggle to get that early Mythic Age that we were talking about earlier. Hippocon looking to raid here. There's already units here. 7 versus 6 and there's Herso. So this Hippocon army's not going to do much if the infantry decide to come and help. But they're a little bit late, so they're actually going to get with a little bit of a win here. Instantly replaced, get some Ulfsark pumping out. Oh, nice surround here for Bubez. He's actually going to pick off every single one of these Hippocon, but the pathing's really bad. You can see it's like, actually, even though there's so many units here, it's still going to be an even trade for Bubez because it's 3 to 3. 3 units are kind of attacking at once, and actually, Bubez comes out in front on that one, so a little bit unlucky that that's the way that the pathing works there. But Bubez actually doing some real good work here, managing to pick off a lot of Brickhead's units, and the role's almost reversed for a second there, even though the units don't, the speed of the units don't dictate that they should. But still pumping out the units, 86 to 130 pop right now though, so Brickhead in a bit of a dire situation. He's got 4 longhouses right now, but he's going to be out of food really soon. So he's trying to make throwing axemen, which doesn't really, well, I mean, there are hoplite here, so it is a good choice, but it's going to be a difficult fight for him to win right now. The medium inventory is in as well. How much gold in the bank for Brickhead? He's got 700 gold, so you don't need to fight this. You can retreat away from this gold mine and fill up your population in order to fight. Alternatively, pull the dwarves off the gold, which he's doing, and fight back over here is exactly what you want to be doing here. And you will be able to win this fight if you do that. And it's looking like that's sort of the case. Really nice micro, pulling those hoplite out of the fight, and it's looking like Bubez making a little bit too much commitment here, even though he probably wins the fight as long as the dwarves aren't fighting too much. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to say. But Bubez is going to be happy with the situation he's in right now. Brickhead still has a dwarven gold mine. Unfortunately, uses it preemptively. Like maybe he knows he can't get to the heroic age here, so he's not bothering to save it. But I still feel like holding on to it is a good idea just in case. Get an extra 2,000 gold just for waiting until the heroic age. So Brickhead going to be getting closer and closer to that 130 population that he needs. Hoplite chilling here, Hippocon looking for something to do, but will not be finding it. And Brickhead's going to be super happy at this point. It's able to survive that push after losing all of those units. So we'll see if he can make anything happen. Looks like Aphrodite's come through for Bubez though, so this is going to be a difficult one for him to defend against. We do see Spirited Charge coming through for Bubez. We've got the Nemean Lions coming out, and the curse comes down, but Bubez, I mean, Brickhead's still trying to fight this? I think that's a terrible idea. The Nemean Lion, without any heroes, the Nemean Lion's just going to chew through all of these units. And even though he's got a couple of throw and axemen to pick off the predominantly medium hoplite there, it's not going to do too much. Really nice army raid here, killing off the units from the rally point there of Brickhead. And Bubez is going to be able to move forward. All of these dwarves have to move back to the home gold mine. And Brickhead is really short on food right now. He's only got... Yeah, he's only... Well, now he's going to have 22 farms, but he really doesn't have that many farms at all. And the Nemean Lion's going to be a beast of a unit to have to pick off here. And reduce the forest fire here. This is going to be... It doesn't actually a nice forest fire. It doesn't actually open up the situation for him or the map for him there, but he's managed to pick off all those hoplite, which is really, really good. And then the Nemean Lion will fall. He's going to lose a couple more units. And the Nemean Lion's definitely going to make... it's going to be a good trade for him, but... Now he has to defend this gold mine. We are seeing some raids onto this location during that, which is keeping Brickhead in the game, funnily enough, because he's managing to pick off the villagers, stop the villagers from attacking, and he's picked off all of these units over here. The forest fire did a little bit of work, and he's managed to pick off reinforcements as well during that. So somehow Brickhead managing to turn that timing push there from Bubez into an advantage for himself. So super well played, and we just see all copper upgrades now for Brickhead. Throwing down watchtowers, got to be super careful. We do see a fortress coming down for Bubez just to secure this gold mine. Wouldn't be a bad idea to throw up some walls over here as well, which Brickhead's doing. And I guess you don't have to go to 3 town centers right now for Brickhead. You just need to get Heroic Age, which he's doing, and then try and get Mythic Age, which he will be able to get because you can see his resources. They don't look like they're much now, but in a minute and a half, he will be ready to go there because he's got so many farms. And I think the Ragnarok's going to be a difficult one to defend, but Artemis is coming through for Bubez. So this is yet again going to be another brutal push from Bubez. So we'll see what Brickhead can do to defend against this. Already the watchtowers are up. Artemis pops through. Chimera comes out of the base, and Bubez is going to be walking his way over here. Maybe, or if he gets an earthquake on this location here, he's going to be able to stop the Heroic Age of Brickhead, but I feel like he's going to go for the main base. We do see the watchtower is going to be picking this one off, and Earthquake comes down, losing a longhouse, losing 1 house, 2 houses, and 3 longhouses there. So that's absolutely huge. But while this is happening, the Raiders are on top of this army, and the army's being forced back. How's Brickhead's economy looking? It's actually not that bad. He needs to somehow get all of his houses and his longhouse back up, get this town center back up, but it looks like he's lost, or he's grabbing an outer town center. I mean, I don't like it because he's got all these farms here, which he needs to have a drop site for. And Brickhead also has no gold mines over there. He is in Skadi though, or in the Heroic Age right now. So he will be able to frost this army and get repositioned here. But this is not a lot of this army. We see Fortress coming up. This is the only gold mine left for Brickhead as well. This is going to be the lowest amount of gold I've ever seen on this map. 2 large gold mine, 1 medium gold mine Ghost Lake. Insanity. So Brickhead's win condition right now is basically get Mythic Age. And it's easier said than done though, because you can see he's got no gold income. Bubez is going to control this gold mine. And basically the only way for Brickhead to get Mythic Age here is going to be to trade, which is definitely possible. You can see his market's up. So he just needs to stay alive and not lose these villages while going for this gold mine. Probably better to just chop the trees and take the 40% reduction in economy from it. But he's going for the gold mine. He's going to be losing these villages, unfortunately. Unless he can get his army over there. He does have a bunch of throwing axemen here. And also frost giants. So this army is not as scary as it looks with these therm frost giants, or thion. How do you say that? Somebody let me know how you just say that. And not only that, the Chimera gets picked off. Brickhead knows what he's doing right here. Able to somehow get this gold mine going, and he's going to be able to push in here because there's no heroes right now for Bubez, and there are frost giants just piling in, and these units are no joke. They're easily the strongest Heroic Age myth unit for Thor. I would probably say better than the Battle Boar as well, just because they can immobilize any of the powerful units that Bubez can potentially make. We do see that Bubez has got 4 villages on favor, so he wants to be making those Chimera. The fighting's still going on. The hoplite here, and he's taken down by these throwing axemen. We do see Atlanta's out now, and this kind of changes things. Bunch of ox carts coming out for Bubez for some reason. Bronze shields of Thor coming out now for Brickhead against an army of basically just melee units. I would probably, I don't know, man. I think you just got to try and get Mythic Age here, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see if he can survive here. Just has to pick off this Atlanta slowly but surely. Keep these Frost Giants alive. He has pulled the Atlanta into tower range, but it's only going to be one tower to hit it. And the Frost Giant will fall, which does turn out to be a good trade for the Greek player, because there is a bit of a finite amount of favor you can get for as being full, whereas you can basically get infinite Atlanta out for not very much resources. It's 350 wood, but it's not that much. But Brickhead is trading fairly efficiently right now. The dwarves going for this fortress. If he picks off the fortress, he will have to deal with militia spawning in. You see the Bubez is basically sitting at full population. And the dwarves are all going to be falling. The villagers come in to repair this. It's going to be a close one whether it goes down or not. And all of the dwarf will be falling for Brickhead. Even if he gets the fortress, he's only got 4 dwarf left. So that's a really big win for Bubez. Because that means that that's essentially 20-ish rag heroes that he's not going to have to deal with. And even beyond that, this is also gold income that Brickhead does not have right now. This is not looking good for Bubez. He's going to be moving gatherers forward now to start trying to gather from this gold mine. The other thing that we haven't thought about here is that potentially Bubez can run out of gold here, but he's already started his trade route nice and early, so very smart from Bubez. You may run out of that gold mine. Another fortress coming up right in the back here, but the raiding cavalry are on top of it. If you can pick these guys off, he should be able to... Well, I don't think he can hold here, to be honest. I really don't think it's looking like it's going to be a hold for Brickhead. No Balder incoming. Raiding cavalry trying to come in. Making him pass this for some reason. Just make hoplite. Don't need to be cute about it. Just make hoplite. Hoplite are really strong. Pass this 6.5 damage versus 10.4 of hoplite. Yeah. GG. GG, well played. I think Brickhead potentially had this game. I think the pacifist were coming out for just in case Ragnarok came. But I think if Brickhead didn't go for this gold mine, instead chopped wood and tried to defend this area here instead of this area here where he's got towers set up, he would probably be able to trade his way to the Mythic Age because he wouldn't have to sacrifice so many units. So gold, wood's trading for 43 right now, but when you start it's trading for 60 something or 70 something. So it's kind of like you're gathering at about 30% less gold than you normally would, but you only need to do it like for 1,300-ish wood to be able to get all the gold to advance. And then you just advance and you just rag and you try and win that way. But unfortunately, did not match to it. I was super surprised. This game was super back and forth, and I thought there were multiple times where Bubez could have just ended or Brickhead could have just like ran away with it. But well played to both players to keep it close and capitalize on opponents' mistakes. We'll jump out and see if they want to keep playing. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I do love watching these some high-level 1v1s. Hope you guys do as well.